when you have a child that has needs early on, you're advocating from birth on through their life, whether that's medical reasons or any needs that they have in the school system. So we hit some road bumps, and I really became aware that advocacy is what I needed to do, more so than what I had been doing. It's easy early on as a parent when you have in place early steps, and when you're getting therapies for your child and so forth, and getting the help you need. But sometimes, even in those years, you still are advocating. But when you hit a roadblock, then you have to jump up and say, okay, what else is out there? And someone invited me to a rally in Baton Rouge. It was a disability rally, and it was through LaCAN, Developmental Disabilities Council of Louisiana. And I remember putting on this yellow shirt that said Inclusion Now, and walking into the House of Representatives where they have their committee meetings, and there was nothing but a sea of yellow shirts with me. And I realized at that moment that there were obviously people that had gone before me to get and keep and maintain those privileges and supports and services that my child had and could be afforded lifelong. And I needed to become a part of that. Because I wanted to protect what we have now, and then we need to move forward on things that Louisiana should have in place for our individuals with disabilities.
Whenever I was 13, the state proposed the HH budget cuts, and I went to the Capitol to testify. That led to boarding a bus to Washington, D.C. with a crew from CNN with 25 other disability advocates to protest against the repeal and replacement of Medicaid in 2017. Which then led to me being the first minor selected to ever be on the council. But as I get older, I'm not entirely sure that paints the whole story. Because there's not one point in your life when you necessarily become an advocate. Over the next couple of years, my health just started to decline and decline and decline because my disease is progressive in nature. And so I feel like with all those hobbies falling away and me having to focus on what really, really mattered, it shaped me into the person I had to be to get where I'm at today, where I'm working at the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs, where I'm trying to get a youth leadership forum started with the council, where I'm doing these things that are positive for my community. But I had to really go through that really awful time and really figure out, okay, what can I do now?
I was a graduate of Partners in Policymaking for Louisiana, and the DD Council is actually the sponsor of that program. So by being involved in Partners in Policymaking, I started talking to other people who were council members, and then I started getting a little bit more insight of how they're able to have impacts with the state, local communities and things along those lines. And those were the ways I wanted to be involved. So it gives us the mechanics and the strategies on how to start implementing changes that we want to see. Oftentimes, as parents of children who have disabilities, there are a lot of things that the general public is unaware of. So, and we have these intentions to start trying to make changes, but we don't know exactly where to start, who to start with, and what needs to be done in order to entail the process. Partners in Policymaking, that puts everything in place for you. It even gives you strategies on how to talk to elected officials, how long to talk to elected officials, how to get to the meat of what you're trying to articulate without doing a lot of overkill, and just how to be effective all around.
The really cool thing about advocacy is it can be so fluid and dynamic, and it can be shaped into anything you really need or what you want, right? And so it really should be a part of your toolbox.
I wear my parent hat first all the time because I'm always a parent first, because that's how I got, in this position of LaCAN leader for Region 9. My passion, I can't contain it because I've seen good results from advocacy when it's done the same message again to the same to legislators across our state at the same time, that really works well. And I just want to share with people that, no one person can do it alone. Your voice is strong, but when you join with others, whether it's an advocacy point that maybe it's not really pertaining to your family, but because you're a part of the developmental disability community, if we work together, we can really make change for the whole, for the betterment.
Here's the thing that I've learned: being partners in policymaking, being part of the DD Council, being an individual with a disability, and being a parent of a child with a disability. You're not alone. Somebody is dealing with the exact same thing that you're dealing with. The only thing is, when you start saying it, you'll be surprised and relieved to know that you're not by yourself.
So that's why I implore you to get involved with LaCAN, to get involved in advocacy in your state, because it makes a difference. And it makes a difference not just for today, but for the generations to come.